Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tarda Zone Woohoo Watchalong, the Lazarus experiment. I hope you are all excited for this story as much as I am. Because I really like this story, actually. I know there are people out there that don't like this story, but we'll see. We'll see if people change their minds. Right, let's bring on our guests. So I'll start sending the emails. I've actually cleared the memory as well on this, so hopefully it'll run a little bit smoothly. Hopefully it does. It's been acting all weird lately. We'll see what happens. Right, let's get on all our guests. Right. We got another one coming in, hopefully. Ted is chilling away there, eating his dinner like a good little boy. Right, so who else am I sending emails to? I forget. Who am I sending emails to? Who did I say was coming on? Just to let me know. I'm going to write names down from now on because I keep forgetting. So if you just tell me who's due on, that'll be fantastic in the chat. Did someone say that my sound was a bit? Hold on, I'll turn it up a little bit just in case. I've sent Rabbi the link as well, so just wait on Rabbi as well. So let's give a few shout outs. Whoever I was supposed to bring on, let me know in the chat. So we got Daniel, we got Charlotte, we got David Travels Through Time, we got Disaster Area, Real Super Doctor. We have the Stuart here as well, PD Rich Retro Dicky. Welcome. Nice to have you here. We got here as well. We got Emma here. Welcome. Who else have we got? James Dawson, welcome. Darren M, welcome. Ninja Knight is here as well. Welcome, Ninja Knight. We've got the Macaron. I'm probably saying that wrong. Welcome. Sadako is here as well. Welcome, Sadako. Terrence is here as well. Welcome. John's did. What I'll be doing next week, I'll be sorting out the panels because, as I said, want new panelists for each day that we do the watch-alongs, and because we've only come back, I've just been bringing on the same people for the two panels, but I'm gonna mix it up next week. We got Raymond O'Reilly here as well. Welcome. And Chris Persia is in the chat as well. Welcome, Chris. Right, we're just waiting on Rabbi. I don't know what's No, I haven't. I'm just drinking me coffee. I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm just in good form. That's all. Right, we'll wait until the rest of our guests come on. I've sent Rabbi the link. I don't know if is he even coming today? I don't know. Hold on. Next week is the Sea Devils. Well, Rabbi, what did Rabbi, what? Hold on. What's in the chat? Rabbi said he was turning up. Maybe he's having a bite to eat. Okay. What, Charles?
Did you see on this?
Yeah, I did. I've already dealt with it on Twitter. So, like, I don't need to deal with it again. I'm not bringing it up. The channel is not for that anymore, you know. I'll deal with that stuff on Twitter. Thank you for letting me know, though, but I already was made aware, so. Right, sending more emails just in case you are wondering why I'm so quiet, because I've forgotten who I'm bringing on, so there's people letting me know. Do you have the link? Hang on, I'm getting to you all. Jesus, some of you need to relax in that chat. I'm talking to you, Lee. You big moan hole. I'm getting around to you. Anyway, you were on yesterday. Boy, right, I shouldn't even have you on today, so be quiet. Should be honored to be on, Money Messing. Send you the link already, you lunatic. Check your email, yeah? You must be a bit slow there, mate. And yeah, I remember now, David travels through time as well. I actually said could come on. So yeah, I think I have all my panel now, actually. If I have forgotten someone, though, let me know, right? David, send me a message with your email address, will you, pal? On Messenger, if you don't mind. Right, we'll get on air guests while we're waiting on the rest. Come on. Oh, there, Lee's finally made it into the studio, the big moan hole. I better bring him on first before he starts crying. So, he seems to be a problem. He's becoming a fucking problem now, he is, because he's a whinge bag. It's the one and only problem being
forgotten like an old rag doll.
Well,
that's how I get treated round here.
How are you, pal?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm very good, man. What you call it? So you happy now you're on first?
I'm adequate.
Okay. Well, I'm going to bring on the fella that should have been brought on first, but because you start crying like a little baby in the chat, I have to bring you on first.
I have feelings, no. Feelings.
Because this guy's come a long way. He's come all the way from Scarrow and he settled down in bloody Scotland. So come on. Right, it's the one and only Scottish Davros.
Yeah.
Okay, how are you?
Hello, legend. Good.
Lee, will you let the chap talk now?
Good. I was replying.
No, I don't give it.
I was replying like a civilized person.
Same time as Daniel was chatting.
Shut your face.
Do you know what? My wife said to me that I have to get the last word in. You know, she's right.
And the
You're
first
like
and the one in the middle.
You're like that as well, mate. You have to get the last word in. Look, he's laughing because
That's what J-bots do. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that too. David travels through time. I think if you want to come on, send me your email address on Messenger, please. I still haven't received the message off you, so if you want to come on, send me the email address. Yeah, hashtag mute Lee, says Ninja Knight. I think we'll have to get that campaign going.
Oh, I see. Let's get the Irish to gang up the English guy, right? Okay, yeah, I see where this is going.
Yeah. Well, in fairness, oh, there he is. There he is. He's on camera now. There he is. He's got his coffee. He's giving me a bit of a wave. Oh, everybody is having tea or coffee there. See, Josh has a cup in his hand as well. Must be drinking tea. Right, let's bring them on because the next guest has come from an entirely different planet also. Isn't it funny how we got two people from different planets on this bloody panel? We're multi universe. We are.
It's very diverse.
Yeah, very diverse. We're different galaxies, different universes, different genders, different religions, different genitalia, you name it. Right, let's bring him on because he's come a long way and I can't keep him waiting any longer. It's the one and only, the legend there is, the rabbi from another planet.
Hello, how are you? I mean, the biggest difference you didn't mention was the different boobies. I mean, that can happen. You know,
and there you go, already.
Well, I have to tell you, if you ever are given boob access to one boob, it's almost always you get it to the second as well.
Well,
just you know, that's how it works. This is how it works, baby. The rabbis here to help you out.
Sometimes.
Really? You get to one and not the other? Then you're doing something wrong. I'm sorry. No.
All right, I just need to remind people, Dave, you should have sent that to me on Messenger. Be careful if you could remove that.
I already removed that before it got posted.
Okay,
so.
just to be on the safe side, folks, don't ever share your email address in the live chat. Okay, never share it in the live chat. That's why I did tell you to either text me on Messenger. And Dave, you do follow me on Messenger, so if I ever need it again, just text me on Messenger for your own safety. That goes for everybody else in the chat as well. We don't want anybody to be picked on, okay? Because I've already been, look, I'm not getting into it again, but I'm just gonna say, you know, the behavior towards Emma is disgraceful. Again, she's after being attacked, like, and I'm sick of this now at this stage. Someone calling her brain damaged, using and then calling her a dipshit.
Yeah, we won't tolerate any of that. Doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on.
I'm getting sick and tired of this now. So that's why just be cautious, guys. Never put an email address in the live chat just for your own safety, because, you know, we already seen over this weekend what they're capable of. So, you know, yeah, just be careful, folks. Just be careful. And yeah, I knew there was another person we were adding onto this panel along with Dave. What, Lee, remind me from now on, will you, mate? Because you know me, I have a head to write down the names of people that are coming on from now on. Because I'm bloody awful. We need to get organised anyway. Well, I need to get organised, I should say.
No worries.
So, not down to you. Well, you are one of me, moderator. You're supposed to keep me on my toes anyway. Right. No, nothing to me.
I used to keep your schedule and then you fired me.
Yeah, I did.
Remember?
Yeah, I used to be. Yeah. I used to be organised until I fired the wife. Long story, but it doesn't matter anyway. Let's bring him on because he's been waiting. I'm glad he's actually joining us for this watch along. It's Josh.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Scottish
How are you, Josh?
Mr. Problem Being, Mr. Rabbi from another planet.
Hello.
Lady Shana Tova to you, and hi Noel as well.
How are you? I hope you're doing well. And David, I did send you that email, and I did send. Hold on, I just want to make sure. I just want them to know that I sent email. Sent email. Email sent. Email sent.
You sent one to Ninja Knight.
Ninja Knight as well. Ninja Knight.
Send me the link.
Does he have access to the episode?
Wow, does Ninja Knight want to come on? Does he know what episode we're watching?
I assume so.
You should.
Right.
Dave,
Right.
could you-
Why don't he come on and we can ask him then?
Well, yeah, I'm bringing him on. I'm just trying to calculate now if I've over egged this feckin' panel.
Oh dear.
I am more than happy to go to bed. Let me just tell you.
No.
I'm
You
free track
are
of me. I really am.
They're Borton.
You are not getting off lightly. No, you've been no. You're very popular on this channel. You stay. You're funny.
Okay, I'm not moving anywhere.
Good man. Good man yourself.
We'll get a bunch of heavy boobs to come and pin you down.
Although
Don't
I did
worry.
have this idea. I'm trying to work it in somewhere. You'll see it in a comic at some time in the future. A Victoria the Waterfield who has a secret fetish for ice warriors and uses a bit of an ice warrior claw to satisfy herself. I'm going to do that in a comic at some point.
Oh, Jesus. Right, we've got Dave traveled through time joining us on the panel. Hello, Dave.
Oh,
Oh,
How are you?
I'm doing good, pal. I'm doing good.
If someone has their computer on, you'll have to turn down your computer.
Is that
You
better?
can hear him.
Yeah, better.
Oh, there we go. It should be better now.
Okay.
Dave, when you travel through time, did you come from the past or the future?
Present right now.
Oh, well, dude, that's a strange location.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The future's going to be
Yeah.
future.
Not the best.
Yeah.
Right, we got one more email to send out. And then I think we're done, finally. Oh, Jesus. Right, this is going to be a big panel, so I would remind everybody on the panel that, there's going to be loads on the panel tonight, so let's let everybody, if they have anything to say about the episode while we're watching, get their opinion in. Then if anybody
Let's
wants
make it a blood royale.
Right, so because we don't want a battle royale going on.
Yeah, let's do a Hunger
By
Games.
the way, I'm the one with the power. I'm the one that can eliminate each and every one of you. Remember that. So, I've got the power. Yeah. No, where's your female representation? Shouldn't Charlotte be on the panel? No, because I have female representation during the classic era. So I have enough representation.
Oh.
I've got Irish men.
You've got Jew, gay man. What
I've
else you
got
want?
Scottish man. I've got
Yeah.
me, crazy. And now we've got another fellow Irish man coming on, but this one's a bit quick.
You got a Canadian too.
He's a bit of a ninja. Yeah. Oh, a Canadian. We got another Canadian on the panel,
Oh,
folks.
nice.
And we got Canadians in the chat. Yeah, English people.
Oh, wait, is
Yeah,
this
yeah.
crown out? I didn't realize.
Oh, we've even got some dog representation.
Nice.
There you go.
Doggy rep. No, did the crown start? Did the crown come out?
It did. We're after watching the first episode. Yeah,
Oh man, I want to see that.
the fourth episode. I have to be honest, right? I'm not no spoilers, but I was disappointed.
All right.
I was not.
Yeah, Cheryl wasn't. I mean, look, Gillian Anderson, I'm gonna tell you is now. Close your eyes, right? Just close
I
your
got
eyes.
Gillian Anderson scheme. I'm not closing my eyes.
Right? No. Close your eyes and listen to what
It seems to be a waste of material.
right as
It's not very fan friendly.
But are you going to fap over Gillian Anderson as Margaret Thatcher?
Oh,
All
so
of-
that's not even a bit drunk to do that. Easy peasy.
right.
Not even a bit of a
As I
tickle.
was gonna say,
That's
as I
just
was gonna
kinky.
say, getting rudely interrupted again. As I was gonna say before I got rudely interrupted by 1, 2, 3, 4 members of the panel, I was gonna say, close your eyes and listen to her impression of Margaret Thatcher. You will actually think that you're
Okay.
listening to that woman. And I swear to good God, I had a knife in my hand. I had a knife, right? And
Self-protection.
right, I'm gonna say no more. Oh my God, she played it so well. She is uncanny voice wise as Margaret Thatcher. But other than that, yeah, it does have a bit of IRA stuff in it. So it looks like they're gonna focus on that. So they better do it justice, because as an Irishman, we'll be watching this shit carefully. Yeah, don't make us out to be the enemies. Yeah, show both sides.
Exactly.
So far, I have to say, it looks like they are. So, if your man keeps it up, this is going to be a terrific series. But I thought it was a bit slow. And your woman that plays Diana annoys me. But other than that, it's the crown. It's the crown. It's back. Right, let's bring him on because he is a bit of a ninja. And he's no white knight. It's Ninja Knight.
Yeah.
All right, lads. How are you getting on?
Story.
Yeah.
You watched that awful trailer.
The one that you had posted up?
Yeah, did you watch it yourself?
No,
Trailer for what?
I seen Jamie Dornan and I was like, right, I'm already checked out of this one.
Yeah,
Oh,
but no,
it's a
you have to
trailer
watch
for
the
what?
trailer.
This is for that Irish film with no Irish people.
Oh my
in it.
God.
I heard you talk-
The,
I heard you're talking about The Crown there, and yeah, Gillian Anderson as Margaret Thatcher. Not great,
No, the voice is brilliant.
Oh yeah, but I mean, imagine taking that role of that horrid woman, like.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Look!
I have to tell you, I'm from down south. I like the Iron Lady myself. Did good
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah, same as my
Yeah.
daddy.
Yeah.
Like, he did good out of it.
No,
I
that's
think
Rabbi. You'll never see Rabbi on this panel again.
Right, hashtag boot rabbi.
to be honest,
Hashtag boot rabbi.
Major was a lot worse. He was a lot worse for me anyway. For my family, it was a lot worse.
Yeah, well, she's hated by every Irish person. No,
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah,
Don't blame you guys.
Gotta mention
And
that.
yeah,
when she actually passed away,
There was many a party here.
yeah, and in England,
yeah, and then
in England, that was the thing though that shocked me even more is that not only was she hated by the Irish, she was actually hated by our own people too, which made us feel even better because then, like, we were like saying, okay, everybody hates this woman except for Ronald Reagan, but we won't get into that. Right, let's put them on. He's waiting. It's the one and only Mr. PD Rich.
Hey, how you doing, Noel?
Hey.
Yeah.
We got 1, 2, 3. 4, 5,
Did you
6.
actually hear me? Hello,
Yeah.
yeah, you heard me. Great, it's all
Well,
working.
we can hear you. We can hear you. We've got 8 people on the panel. That's fantastic.
And now you've got a cancer survivor in your panel.
There you go.
Have I forgotten anybody?
Not sure.
Is there anybody in the chat, or are we just here now?
I do feel no. We've got room for 2 more
There he
people. I mean, have I forgotten? I'm pretty sure I have forgotten 2 more. At least 1 more person, because I know all during the week I was inviting people on left, right, and
It
centre.
was an Alpha Omega, was it? You invited on?
That was lovely, wasn't it?
Was it Alpha Omega? I think I
Did you
might
invite
have
Alpha on?
Omega
yesterday?
and-
Not too sure. I
and I
can't
think
remember.
him as well. Actually, are they both around?
Alpha Omega's in the chat. I can see him there now.
Right, well, we'll add Alpha Omega, right? And then we'll get going. Actually, before we start, does anybody want to give a few brief thoughts on what they thought about this episode when it was first released.
Yeah, this was a bit naff, but it was okay.
I
Well,
loved
now for the next one.
I absolutely loved it, and it was my favorite of the Martha era.
Wow,
And
really?
just
Yeah.
being Tennant, he was just so fantastic. The way he's like, Martha's in the room saying goodbye, and it's so emotional, and he's leaving, and it's like, did he just say what it means to be human? I thought that was hilarious, and it's so Doctor Who.
Well, I've got someone on the panel that actually agrees with me because I actually love this episode too. I have to say,
I enjoy it as well.
the CGI is bad. I'm not going to lie; it hasn't aged well. But I think that's what gives it its charm. Even now, it feels like a classic Who story to me now. Someone, whoever has the computer has to. If you're on the stream with us, you don't need to be watching the stream as well. If you know what I mean.
Best to mute the stream. Just go for
It's
stream
coming
guys.
through, and it's coming through. I'm repeating myself.
Yeah, someone's got some feedback
I
there.
do that often anyway.
Switch what you're here to off.
Well, I mean, if you're on the stream, you don't have to be watching yourself on the stream.
No.
Whatever, you're very narcissistic.
Oh, maybe it's mine, huh?
That's all right.
How does my mic sound? I'm after getting a new mic. Does it sound
You're
good?
sounding
Yeah,
fine, mate.
Oh, that's true.
I think
You sound fine.
Yeah,
How
that's
are you
true.
doing anyway? How's your
Yeah, if you're
weekend?
Patrick Bateman from American Psycho.
There, I've sent it to Alpha Omega anyway. So Adam is there as well. Adam, do you want to come on? You haven't been on in a few weeks, and that would be the last guest. Would you like to come on? I'll get Rabbi to send you the link if you want to come
I'll
on.
send it right now.
10 out of 10 guest limit.
Yeah, get the 10. Why not? Let's go for it. It'll be fun.
Yeah, just roll off.
Of course, if everybody starts speaking over one another, I'm going to have to mute you while you do the time that down just because I've got the power.
Yeah.
Right.
Shame we haven't got auto ducking, isn't it?
Right,
Listen,
someone's still got their stream running in the background. Then
if you've got
echoing.
YouTube on in the background, you have to knock YouTube off and just stay on StreamYard. Because I can't. Because once we play the episode, if it comes through on the stream, I'm gonna get a copyright.
Yeah,
Well,
mute on stream.
Oh no, my review of the Dalek
Sorry, not StreamYard.
thing got blocked because I showed some examples of the CGI in it, and it got blocked by BBC Studios.
I bet you there's a bunch of other reviewers out there who love it so much, and I bet if they've used any,
hold on, guys. Did you use stills or did you use actual footage?
I used footage, but without it was like small, and I used it without sound.
Nah,
it should be fair use. That should be fair use.
That really is fair use. But anyway, no. Check out my latest thumbnail, which I think one of my finest. I just want to throw it up there.
I will indeed, but listen, you need to be using stills when you're doing something like that.
Yeah, I wanted to show how badly it actually moved and animated.
Rabbi, I don't think I could put that thumbnail up.
I think you can. It's fine.
No.
Come on. I'll put it up on my channel.
Oh, go on.
No.
I should remind everyone.
Rabbi, is it?
It was nice knowing you all. YouTube career was short and sweet, but I made a huge impact.
Oh my Lord, Rabbi, that is a bad thumbnail.
I don't think we should. I don't know. I can't put that up. Come on.
I think it'll be fine.
No way.
Okay.
Cheryl, what do you think?
I thought you fired your secretary, mate.
I think we'll start the hashtag rehire Cheryl.
Yeah, rehire Cheryl.
I think I should remind everyone this episode was the first one to introduce the master from the background, so you didn't know it initially, but in retrospect.
Yeah, that's true.
The first one, Smith and Jones. Not Smith and Jones. It's Smith and Jones, isn't it? Yeah. With the guy said he mentioned Mr. Smith or whoever the master's name is in this.
Smith is John Smith. It's the doctor. That was the point of that one.
Yeah. Who? What's the master calling himself?
Saxon.
I can't remember.
Saxon.
We've got
Mr.
Alpha
Saxon. Yeah.
Omega.
Harold Saxon.
Bring Alpha Omega on.
Or Tony Blair on crack, as I call it.
Yeah.
Saxon was supposed to be master number 6, the anagram.
1, 2, 3, 9. So is Adam coming on, Rabbi, or?
I don't know. I sent him a link.
Oh, he's getting set up. Okay. Well, you'll have to take that thumbnail out because he won't be able to come in.
Oh, okay. 1 second. Let me get rid of it.
I cannot throw that up, man. You shouldn't even.
It's already posted.
You did not. You're gonna. Man, you're gonna get yourself into awful. It's not funny, folks.
It is. It's cracking.
What's he doing? What's he doing?
It's not. You get yourself into trouble, mate. Are you trying to get your YouTube channel taken down?
Well, I don't know. It seems, they
You know how? No, listen.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking
I don't
about.
give a shit, but people are all sensitive now and shit, right? Joe Biden's going to be president. It's going to be even fucking worse for you. So
No, he won't. He won't get in.
to antagonise, because I know why you do those thumbnails anyway, right? But like, come on, man, for your own good. I'm just giving you advice because what's been happening.
They have the minstrel show on YouTube. You can see it there.
Oh, I can't believe that.
It's a hilarious thumbnail, to be fair. How do you make your thumbnails, Rabbi?
Photoshop.
Very good. You'll have to teach me. Teach me the
Dave.
skills.
No, Photoshop. That.
Rabbi, he sent you a private chat in the
No,
private
I
chat.
didn't see.
In
What
private
are you guys
chat.
all looking at?
Rabbi's thumbnail for his latest video.
It's on his channel. If you go on his channel, you'll see it.
It's
It's
going to be
absolutely hilarious.
contentious.
I have to check out your channel, Rabbi.
I just go to my I don't have the episode uploaded to my Google Drive. I very rarely do.
Oh. I don't know. No worries.
Does anybody else have a way of accessing it?
I got
I
DVD.
got the DVD here, but
Oh yeah, if you don't have it on Google Drive, do you not? If you don't, it's no problem.
no, I don't. I'm afraid.
Sorry, it's not stress at all. David Tennant, though, like I said just before, I think he's my favorite doctor. He's brilliant. He is, you know.
Yeah.
I'll let you off.
Are you having problems with your audio?
I think it's working now.
Yeah, you're coming through, Dave.
Cool.
You're coming through, birthday boy from yesterday.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, we can hear you perfect now. It's actually much better now. There's no feedback or anything now, so that's fantastic. I think we're waiting on Adam now, and then we'll start. I don't want to start without Adam, actually, so we can all see. Well, according to people in the chat, he was getting set up.
Okay.
All right, Dave.
So yeah, that Dalek animation, it's like, it's worse than. Do you remember that game Destiny of the Doctors from like 2000?
Oh, yeah.
It's like that. I'm not even exaggerating. The animation's like that.
Oh, wow.
So bad.
But you know what's even worse, right? You can kind of excuse the animation, right? If, and this was a big if the writing was actually intelligent.
Oh God, yeah. You will surrender. No, we won't surrender. You will surrender. No, we won't surrender. You will surrender. No.
You know, one of the Daleks sounded like Davros. It just some of them didn't sound right, as Lee said. Listen, you can overlook bad animation, which we have in the past. Let's be honest. If the story is good, but there was nothing good about this. I mean, after we watched that after the live stream because we obviously didn't want to get a strike, and lucky we didn't play that trailer now because look what happened to that boy. So we would have been bleeding blocked all over the shop. But we watched that, and then I put on Garlic Tales for the lads that were still in the chat with me in the studio. And we watched that, and 15 minutes or 17 minutes long, and the animations from 9 years ago. Animation was 10 times better.
I know.
And the
It's shocking how
dialogue
bad the
is
animation
so
is.
writing, highly intelligent. Oh my god, this is a fan.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
Okay.
it's like the BBC are just taking a piss all over the fans. Jodie
Yeah,
fans,
yeah.
other fans, and they just like they don't give a shit.
Well, there was a new image. Don't know if you've seen it. So under the Chris Chibnall image or something, there's an image of the Dalek inside the TARDIS. That looks like.
Cool.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah. Oh, Rabbi, you heard the latest BBC one?
Oh.
They are trying to say that if you watch anything live on YouTube or through Amazon Prime or Netflix on your TV, then you need a TV license, which is absolute garbage.
Yeah.
So that's what they're trying to pull.
That's
now.
their next little move. They're sending it. They're
Wow.
sending
Yeah,
letters with
screw
it.
off.
But they won't get it though, because what they don't realise is that the young kids that they're trying to aim BBC at
Yeah.
are not interested in BBC. They'd
Exactly.
rather stream. So what BBC in essence would have to do is turn into a streaming service for them to get what they actually want, which they'll never do. Right?
Yeah.
They'll have a streaming section, but they'll still remain a television. You know what I mean? They'll still
They've got to
Yeah.
become an independent TV company.
So they're not going to do that. So
Well, they're gonna because they're gonna be having their money
Broadcaster.
taken away.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
what they need to
Exactly.
do is go back to trying to entertain everybody. You know, they used to have game shows like the Generation Game.
Right.
Yeah. Innovate, entertain, and educate. That was their original
You
policy.
had Noel's House Party, Russ Abbott Show. You had then on ITV, you had Jeremy Beadle. You had
Yeah.
Ken Cardroy, Bullseye. You know, Saturday and Sunday nights in the UK and Ireland.
Noel's house party. Yeah.
Prime time viewing. It was all about entertaining your audience. Even if it was
Exactly.
silly
Crystal
TV.
Mayors. Do you remember the Crystal Mayors?
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
back.
that's what I mean. It was all about. It was all about just entertaining the audience, and we made a shit ton of money doing it. But now, because of a grumpy few in the population, that feel like, you know, because they're, as I said, insecure and, you know, not sure of themselves because they've been brainwashed, they've piped up the most now. Not because they're miserable little bastards. We all have to be miserable because we can't have the entertainment that we want.
Basically, right. Yeah, 100%. That's exactly what's going on.
Right, I don't know if Adam is coming. I mean, I don't know how long we can wait, because you know we're coming up to 38 minutes now. So I'll tell you what, we'll give him another 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and see if he turns up. If not, we'll get going. Does everybody agree?
Yeah, sounds good.
Sure thing.
Oh yeah. So we made a deal with Lee that because Lee doesn't like this episode.
Oh, okay.
Right. So if Lee gives this episode more than a 7,
Mm-hmm.
well then we said we'd skip 42.
Okay.
No pressure.
But
Anyway, that sounds
I told Lee,
Yeah, I honestly thought you said if he gives it more than 7, he's got to give the entire
Oh, but
panel
hold on.
a like.
Lee is a
hand.
friend, right? Lee is a friend, and I trust him to be honest with me. So there is a bit of faith here, but I do believe he will still tell the truth because I think that's how honest he is.
I can't help myself. I have to.
So,
I
so
can't
he'll
kill
tell
him.
the truth. Now, if he really still doesn't like this episode and he gives it a low rating, then we have to do 42 next week.
Oh,
But
Jesus.
everything that's wrong with Chris Chibnall's era. But let's bring on Adam so we can start this watch along. And,
I think it's always a good idea to skip 42.
I'm going to.
That episode was terrible.
Shut.
and here he is, Adam. Hello.
Hello, gents. How's everybody doing?
We're doing
Yeah.
You know, I just want to say about
Yeah,
42.
really good.
I reckon most of it was rewritten by Rusty Davis because I never
Wow.
found it terrible.
It was, and he still couldn't salvage that crap script. Right. And he's get everybody get their copies ready. I feel
Yeah.
sorry for Ninja Knight because he doesn't have it. Does anybody know where he can actually watch it? Does Daily Motion have it? Does anybody
Yeah, it
know?
should.
Yep, it's on Daily Motion.
There you go, Ninja. It's on Daily Motion. Check out Daily Motion there and write in the Lazarus experiment, Doctor Who.
Perfect. Will do. Thanks, lads.
Right, we'll wait for Ninja Knight to get that set up because you know what the Daily Motion can be like, so let him find it first. But you know what? We never do this actually, right? We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it now. Remember, I want everybody to give their rating of this episode when they first watched it. What would you have given it when you first watched it?
Check that out.
Right?
Oh, that's coming up.
I'll start with Lee first. Lee, when you obviously not like this, so when you what would you give it?
About 4 or 5.
Right. So Lee gives it a 4 or 5. So we'll see if he improves on that. Daniel.
A 7 out of 10 because I really thought that because I really thought that was so story and back when it up. So yes, 7 out of 10.
Fantastic, Rabbi.
I would say about 5.5.
Right, 5.5. David travels through time. What would you have gave this episode when it first came out?
When I first saw it, let's see, I was a teenager, so I'd give it like a 7.5, maybe.
Okay, Alpha Omega.
6.
Not bad.
Not bad.
I'd say about 6.
Okay. Fair enough.
That's good. Josh.
Yeah, you know what? I'd give it an 8 out of 10. I was a fan. I would introduce the master in the background with the comedy elements, introducing the family. There was a lot of good points touched on. Seeing the doctor in the tux, almost James Bond. There was a lot of boxes that were checked on this one. So 8 out of 10 for me.
Nice.
That's not bad. That's not bad. Ninja Knight, you have watched this, haven't you?
Yep.
So what would you have rated it when you first seen it?
Probably a solid 7, I'd say, because the David Tennant there, as I said to you before, is something that I really enjoyed. I started up kind of really back watching here with Christopher Eccleston, and then moved on then to David Tennant, and I think his stuff was just fantastic. So I think a good solid 7 for this one.
Yeah,
I like the Lazarus, I like the biblical stuff as well too. So
yeah. Adam, what would you have given it back in the day?
I would definitely give it a 7. I mean, I really like, showing more of Martha's family and their backstory. And then, the Mark Gatiss, I mean, he really does. He's a really good character actor. So, I mean, when you see him, even though the makeup may only be slightly different, he really does appear as somebody else. So he's really good at pulling that off. What I did not like was the CGI effects of the monster. I thought that was just horribly presented. I'd love to see them go back and take another stab at maybe a remastered version of that particular episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's my problem with it. And if I was to rate it back then, this would have rated high because I think season 3 is underrated in my opinion. Yes, it does have a couple of duds in there. I didn't think this was one, so at the time I probably would have gave this, I think 8.5, 9 maybe. I only took a couple of points off for the simple fact of CGI, but I actually love this story. Now we're watching it now. We're going to be watching it now, and I'm telling you, because I've noticed something about the David Tennant there, and even the Christopher Eccleston there. As we're watching back, some of the episodes or the stories that we've been watching, kind of have that classic feel about them now because the CGI hasn't, kind of aged well, or some of the things that happened in it haven't aged well, and I think it gives it that classic charm. Like that's what we love about the classic era, the shaky sets, the bad.
It's like it's not of now; it's of an earlier time.
Yeah, so it does bring me back a little bit. Right, are we ready to go, Ninja Knight? Have you found that on?
Yep. Yeah, I'm ready to go. I took it into private chat a minute ago.
Lovely. Okay, right. Well, Rabbi, it's all yours. And remember,
Hey, don't say anything yet. Okay, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Right, TARDIS is in the time vortex. There we go. I didn't like how bright this TARDIS was, though.
Yeah, it's a bit bright inside, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not normally that bright.
Well, it's brighter in the white TARDIS, isn't it?
Yeah.
See, Martha thought she was still going on little trips here. And then she's devastated when she realizes she's home.
I don't see anything. I'm not seeing it on the screen.
No, we don't play the episode on the screen. You've got to play your own copy.
Oh, okay.
Once you get it on, let me know. We'll give you a timestamp.
Yeah, you can find it on Daily Motion.
We're not allowed, Joe. BBC are very particular about that. They only let streamers do it that basically blow smoke up their ass and get special permission. You know, lonely YouTubers like me will never get that permission. So
That makeup's not bad.
I know.
Yeah, if you go to Daily Motion, just type in Lazarus experiment.
Better than the one in Prometheus.
Yeah, it's actually coming like
you can already see though he's already thinking. You know, he was already thinking there. In fairness, though, I like this because this is the episode where David Tennant's doctor finally accepts Martha into the TARDIS properly.
Yeah.
You know.
Where's the timestamp?
Someone give a timestamp there. Guys.
2 minutes 10. I've got mine.
Yeah, it's 2 minutes 10.
The TARDIS is just leaving our bedroom now.
2 minutes 20 now.
It's turning away.
Yeah.
The TARDIS is coming back now. Our panties are gonna start blowing when the TARDIS comes in. What? Did you not notice that before? There, look, see, told you. Think I have a dirty mind. Yeah, and that's it is, yeah.
Quite a long time might have gone on between those two things.
So we're watching without sound, I guess.
That's correct. That's it.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm watching with headphones on.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got headphones on.
I have one headphone in, the other one not.
Oh, that would just drop my mic.
Woo woo!
God, I miss this music. I just miss Murray Gold.
Yeah, he's a great composer.
Yeah, he's brilliant.
What's that model they've got over there? Is that the church? What church is that? Is that a British landmark?
I think you're ahead of me or behind
Yeah,
me.
the British landmark. I can't remember what.
That looks like St Albans Abbey.
What it is. I can't remember what church it is. But I know it said it was there.
I think it's the one that's in the series where he ends up at later on.
Yeah.
In this episode.
Yeah.
Gaddis can pull off an old man in the makeup. He does.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's absolutely fantastic. He'll get it and character.
You know, it's odd to have a writer.
It looks like it's got Pertwee's tie on, doesn't it? Bota.
It is. It's odd to have a Doctor Who writer who's also the actor on the show.
He was also an actor, Mark Gaddis, there in the Sherlock series. He's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think he
The
had
only
a hand
time
in
there's
writing
going to
that
be
too.
a star of Doctor Who that's going to be the writer is when they're trying to get Michael Benting to take it on instead of before Pertwee.
Right.
But then it turned out he wanted too much involvement. And Barry Letts is like, yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah. I liked old Barry Letts.
Finally realizing they're showing everything in reverse here.
Yeah.
I guess it's a copyright thing.
Yeah, that's the downside to Daily Motion.
You gotta
You're seeing it flipped on the screen.
watch the mirror image of it. Get a mirror out.
It's like Yoda. Enjoy it, I must.
You have to give it up for the charisma of Tenet, though. I mean, he just
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
his
I'm all
charisma
right.
just oozes out.
I'm already enjoying that. So I'm enjoying this already. I've always had a soft spot for this episode.
Yeah, so far it's not bad at all, I have to say.
You know, for all the talk of so much celebrating diversity with women of color or just women in general, look at this series. I mean, Martha, there was so much focus on her family, and there was nothing outside the ordinary to any of us who don't like the Jodie era.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, this is just normal. You know,
works, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just for the record, I can't stand the Jodie era.
It's the same as Red Dwarf. I mean, I never thought anything, with Cat or Lister or anything like that.
Oh, no, they were just normal people.
Yeah, I
Or normal
identify with
cats.
Lister. The last human alive. Would I be a slob? Well, yeah, there's nobody else around. You can do whatever the heck you want.
Exactly. Eat curry all day and sip lager.
It's really what under the involvement with being the last human.
Yeah. But yeah, he was just very good at portraying the human condition, Russell T Davies.
Yeah.
Brilliant at it.
Yeah.
Look, I said it as well. He's very good at social constructs as well. He understands them.
Yeah.
He understands the complexities and the how people bounce off one another. He knows the family dynamic. You know, but you look at how the other fella writes the family dynamic. It's like it's either a single father or a single mother. It's a fractured home. You know, even though this is a fractured kind of family, right? By the end of it all, by the time we get to the end of the series, they've been brought together by this catastrophic event, and they became a lot tighter as a family. But Chris Chibnall couldn't dream of writing anything like this.
No, he'd give you token mum, token dad. Yeah.
But that's how these SJWs write. They write broken homes, and I think if you look into some of their own homes, they're probably fractured and fairly broken themselves, and it's pure self-projection. Anything that they do write just seems to be an unhappy home, and they're very deeply unhappy individuals themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Chibnall's problem is that he can only do the superficial, the virtue signal. He doesn't. He doesn't have any depth to it, or it's not intrinsic to the story.
Badly, yeah.
Then if you ask someone like Az from Hill versus Babyface, also comes from a broken home, he says it's the biggest load of crap going. In regards to Chibnall, it's like it just doesn't work.
He just doesn't understand human, and that's pretty sad. Because maybe his daddy didn't love him.
Yeah.
Well, looking at him as a kid, who would love him? To be honest.
Now the effects here with the machine going haywire, that was well done.
Yep. Yep. I can spot on.
Yeah.
It's a mill, I think, doing the special VFX for this one.
Have to be honest, man. I just love his performance in this.
Yeah, I accept.
Sometimes you just have to enjoy it and not overanalyze it.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I think this is just a classic. It does. Watching it now, it does have that kind of feel. I'm telling you. And she's a legend, icon.
Yeah, Ordination.
Yeah, she's in Coronation Street. Yeah, she's a legend. She was in it in the early days, and She left then, and then we hadn't seen her on TV in ages, and Russell T managed to get her for this. So that was a coup, you know?
Right, I remember the bit. It was a big deal.
Sort of like looks like Peter Davison.
Yeah, it does kind of.
Yeah, here's a couple of things about this story that always intrigued me and then left me with questions, because when the doctor's talking about the machine that was used by Lazarus for the Lazarus Project, he says this technology shouldn't exist. Now that leads me to believe that there was a backstory that we never got to see, because at the time we're dealing with the Master as the Prime Minister or running for Prime Minister.
Yeah, that'd be quite a good box set to see what's going on. Yeah, as a prequel to that. Before.
Right.
Minnesota or
Yeah,
something.
and
Because he
yeah,
hints
that'd
at
be,
that.
and yeah, that'd be a good that'd be a good like finish box set for them to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Such an interesting experience seeing it without sound. Tennant's expressions are tenfold more exciting.
Oh, I just saw the Good Omens, and my gosh, he was fantastic in that.
Yeah, it was brilliant in that. So my biggest problem with Mark Gatiss, after you've seen The League of Gentlemen, you just don't take him seriously.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. Yeah.
Don't let him look at your dog.
Right. I keep getting annoyed with how he self inserts himself quite a lot in Doctor Who. It's like a bit too much.
Yeah, like, yeah, Mark, we know you're a fan. It's fine. You have to keep inserting yourself.
Ultimate fan.
Oh yeah.
Dream.
Did anyone hear about when I did the Dalek shoot on what was it, Westminster Bridge?
Well, no, the great grandfather of Alistair Stewart.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I mean, you can't get more egocentric.
Let's be honest, right? You are all having a bit of a papa mark there, right? In the position. Well, listen, if you are fans, right?
Yeah.
You worked in television and you had the opportunity to do what he did and to actually star in the show that you've been a fan of. Come on, in fairness, you would all.
Oh, you jump at it.
Yeah.
I still think it should have been great to have him as a showrunner as
well, because you would say, I finally got there, finally got to get into the show that I love. I don't blame him for that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be a bit off-putting, I'll agree, but I just have to like you had for it before I
There's some absolute chaos going on out there.
He didn't attack the fans.
What have you done? What have you done?
You've been swinging swords around in public again.
What the hell was that?
I don't know. It sounded like a lot of cars, didn't it? But what I was saying,
What the heck?
Mark here, you could see that they all truly loved the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They wanted what was best for it. You know, and if it
I think it's bad when love turns into overindulgence. I think that's the only time it's really bad.
I say it's episodes like this I can be saying I'm proud to be a Doctor Who fan or a
no, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because I think we'd all be in the same position if we had the opportunity to do what he did. Oh my God, I'd hear someone earn off to be on that show, even for a split second, even as an extra, just walking by or something, or I get punched by the Doctor in the face. Obviously, because that wouldn't look right, would it? Because then, like, if that happened, then Doctor punched me in the face. It's equality. So, like, if a male doctor punched me in the face, I'd punch him back. So, equality. That's all I'm saying.
It might fix it if you punch Jodie.
No, I said equality. Never said that like that. I said equality.
Yeah. If Jodie punched you and you punched her back, it might fix her face.
Now.
I know. I'm just
Chris Kibnall's the one that needs a personality transplant or something.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, that man is boring. These guys, if you are interested, watch a Moffat and Mark interview, right? And
Yeah.
Oh, fabulous.
interact with each other, bounce ideas, even while they're in the interview talking, they bounce ideas and then they tell us about
There we go. The first mention of
they
Mr.
never
Saxon.
actually went through it, and then you look at Chris Chibnall and it's like blah 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 blah. Gordon blank blah blah blah. Look how great I am. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
By the way, the first mention of Mr. Saxon. I think the first mention of Mr. Saxon was the Christmas special.
Oh, here's the bad CGI.
Well, there was a flyer in the background, I remember.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad.
Yeah. I always just love that in Doctor Who Confidential afterwards. They always put the little glimpses of where everything happened.
Yeah. They should bring that back. They should bring that back, though. I firmly believe that show could make a comeback because I certainly tuned in after every episode of the main show, and I'd switch over and I'd watch it. I loved it, and the best thing is it's on the earlier box set. So when it finished, the finish is on the box set. But I have all the Doctor Who specials as well. And that was a separate show in itself, and it is great because it shows you how it is, the way they were looking at the time, and it's very fascinating. Do we see any of that with Chris Chibnall? Have we ever actually seen that like that with Chris Chibnall? No.
He's very sort of negative, so you can ever so you ever see anything like that with Chris Chibnall? No, because he keeps it to himself.
There's Skeletor.
Oh, the only time I really didn't like the Doctor Who was it the behind the scenes Doctor Who when Matt Bowton was doing the voiceovers. Oh, luckily he's just directing the one show now, so they put him somewhere safe.
How's everybody in the chat enjoying the episode? Are you enjoying it? Do you still dislike it from when you first watched it? How are you all feeling?
I'm enjoying it.
It's a bit better than I remember.
So far, how are you feeling so far? Still the same?
I mean, not bad. Like, I think right now, I think it's probably going to go from a 5.5 to a 7.
Into Lee.
Yes.
Yeah, Lee. Yeah,
Yes.
halfway through now. Not halfway through, but how are you feeling? Still feeling the same?
Yeah, it's all right. I mean, it's not groundbreaking or anything.
Okay.
It's fairly all
Just
right.
an okay episode.
Now, Rabbi, what did you say, pal? What did you say?
I think this is better than I remember. I'm going from like a 5.5 to like a 7.
Oh.
Okay.
That's a little
Right
bit
after
of a jump.
7 already.
Usual extra in the background, who plays the sideman normally.
See, I love this here because, you know, you get to see, this is why Russell T will always be the king, right? You don't get to see Martha Jones's mother or father that much during this era, but you see enough of them to know the family dynamic, right?
Exactly. You know it right away when you first see them.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But you don't get that with the other fella, and this is what's so missing. If you understand these characters that he's writing, then you know, okay, the writing is still a bit bad, but like if you understood the characters, I don't think the characters would be getting slagged off. I mean, Yasmin Khan as a character is probably the worst developed character I've ever come across.
Yeah.
And that's saying a lot. We had Danny Pink.
Oh yeah,
he was a
I hated him. I hated Danny Pink.
You and me both, Daniel. You and me both.
It's so underdeveloped and so.
You know, the only time he was okay was when they did that 12th Doctor box set with Jake Dudman, and they had him in one episode, and then it was like focused on him and what's going on with him, and that one he was really, really good.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
He got a bit happy though. Okay, someone's there. Sound. I don't know if it's someone's down or not, but we've been getting that a lot lately. A lot of feedback.
You want to hear something really interesting about this story, which I didn't know, but it's fascinating now that I've read about it. This story was actually where a monster is mutated from a man and dies in a large London church is a reference to the 1953 Quatermass experiment.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah,
Quatermass.
yes. On.
Wow.
even this conversation between the doctor and him is actually great. Now she makes a reference to who did she make a reference to? She pulled the joke here. Yeah, Karen Zeta-Jones, yeah, and Michael Douglas.
Oh yes.
This CGI is bad, but I'm telling you, it has a classic feel to it.
Yeah, the story, I can see that.
It's the
It
face.
really does. Think
face.
about it.
I think my problem with the story is there's just not really much to it.
Do you know what though? But
It's a bit more of an investigation story.
Yeah, but it's all like pretty like simple and like
yeah.
But think of Patrick Troughton in this.
It's more of a Martha story.
Yeah.
Far more of a Martha story than a Doctor story. It's just kind of there, for the ride.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, basically, a pretty contemporary Martha story, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Patrick Troughton. Think about a Patrick Troughton instead of David Tennant. This could pass off as a Troughton story.
I can see that.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, as I said, I think that's what it is. It's more of a Martha story.
Yeah.
But yeah, for it to be a Troughton story, it'll be a 6-part, and then there'll be more than one of these mutating monsters, and they'll be like milling around for like episodes 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I'm not fond of that CGI.
No, the CGI is really
It's
bad.
alright. It's not great, but it's okay.
You said it didn't have deep fake back then with her face.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Looks like
it does have that feel.
Looks like someone's just plastered a 2D picture onto a 3D model.
Basically, that's what they did, probably.
Yeah.
Oh my, I didn't know that they did that.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm up
They
with
should've
something
just-
here.
It would have been better not to try and do his face, just do a monster face.
They
Right?
should have just done green screen gases with a load of stuff on his face.
Yeah.
And then reimpose that on the monster and it would have looked so much better.
Yeah.
So not only did they make this episode, they did a 2005 live remake of the Quatermass experiment. David Tennant and Mark Gatiss.
Oh, that was amazing. That was done
I have
live.
to see that.
See,
Yeah, it's worth a
I
watch.
have to watch that now.
See, I knew what they were trying to do here, trying to kind of, this is what maybe prehistoric man before he had legs, this is what he probably looked like. But, I mean, they could have used practical effects or something.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah,
green
I
screen
mean,
down.
it was just the choices they made. And if they did practical effects, it would be so much more expensive.
Yeah. Oh, Adam, I got a little thing about that Quatermass.
Yeah.
On that episode, when he was filming that, he got the call for Doctor Who, and he became the Doctor.
No, right.
They had a little tiny celebration. It couldn't tell too much because the Christmas special was coming up, and he was just before. He could only tell a handful of the crew. They had a little tiny celebration in the background.
I thought that symbol in the background was Gallifreyan.
Yeah, it does look like Gallifreyan.
Yeah, the circles.
Yeah. Wow, that's fascinating. I love this era of Doctor Who is probably one of the best ever.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, I believe it.
I think what David Tennant did
Nah, I disagree.
what Tom Baker did for the classic series.
Can't beat the Baker era.
No.
Oh yeah,
No,
of course
Baker.
not.
Can't be
Of the
Tennant or
modern
Baker.
era.
I think they're both, gold era Doctor Who.
David Tennant brought sexy back to Doctor Who. All
Yeah.
the women came aboard once.
I
David
think
Tennant-
two Doctor Who was never there before. I mean, maybe with McGann, but that was like half an hour.
Well, and I don't know if you guys experienced this a lot over there, but in America in the early 2000s, the tennis shoes with the suit look was kind of a throwback.
Oh yeah, the geek chic.
Yeah.
Yeah, the geek. Well, it was kind of punk music too. Was it was the early, they were still doing what was it, Green Day and
Oh yeah,
right.
Blink 182. I mean, that was the Tenet feel was that for us in the US.
Yeah.
Yep. That's true.
Yeah, because the same here for a bit as well.
yeah. Then you got a major blast of it when Matt Smith walked to the TARDIS.
Yeah.
Have we seen this location a bunch of times as well with this by now as well?
Yeah, the refigured school laboratory. It looks like a university laboratory.
Yeah, I think they said that that's actually a museum in Cardiff.
Yeah.
Is that a museum? I never knew that.
Yeah.
It.
Yeah, it's like very school or university, this one.
Oh, here it is. It was in Torchwood, the Sarah Jane Adventures.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, now I recognize it.
No, that would have taken a lot longer to fill that room with gas.
That's a fair point.
I'm going to have to buy the DVDs of the Sarah Jane Adventure.
Ooh, that'd be a good one.
Yeah, I've actually,
It's the only ones I don't have.
I've actually got the I've actually got the full series on DVD.
Yeah.
Oh, I've just remembered why the font looks like Gallifrey in the background.
Why?
Because it was given to the technology was given to Lazarus by Harold Saxon.
Oh,
yes, I just remembered. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen this episode. It's
That's what I'm
Time Lord
saying.
Tech.
I had a feeling there was like a connection that he was alluding to.
Yeah. It's generally Time Lord Tech, yeah.
Yeah, it's in the background right there.
Yeah. I thought, you're right. That looks very familiar there. Oh, yes.
Is he in the lab with the gas turning on, or am I ahead?
You're behind.
I'm behind.
Yeah,
Okay.
behind.
Let me see.
My timestamp is 26:55.
Mine says, okay, now I moved up to
Mine's 29.
Okay. Okay, now I see the tech you're talking about in the background. Yeah.
Oh, they're showing off the new, what was it, the Time Lord Disastrous Sonic Screwdriver now. Sorry, I mean, Victorious. It's just looks like normal screwdriver with some stuff attached to it.
Right, well, that's what they do now. Time of Victorious has been such a dud.
Yeah, it's shut. It's not very well thought out.
And that's when I first got talking to Lee about that in the chat.
Yeah.
I'm not disastrous.
Okay, so tell me what's happening right now.
They're inside the white thingy, and
the chamber thing.
And he's messing with the guts of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm there.
Give you a shout, about to hit the 30-minute point.
It was about 10 minutes ago, I think.
See, now that was a good effect, that explosion.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty well done.
He reversed the polarity. Another good throwback.
30 minutes in.
Naked Gators, we don't want to see necessarily.
Leave it to Gaddis to want to be naked on the floor for everyone to
Yeah,
see.
right.
I always wondered about Mark Gatiss. Always wondered.
I do like him though. I think he's a good fan. He wrote a lot of the new adventures of Doctor Who stories, the novels.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
he's
good.
good at writing those. Yeah.
that's what kept it alive
Mm-hmm.
during the hiatus.
The Wilderness Years.
The Wilderness.
Yeah.
That's right. That's what it's called.
Rap.
Yeah.
I always thought Martha's sister was quite attractive.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so be.
How did they kind of not notice the Gallifreyan behind him?
It's Reggie Yates.
Yeah,
presenter.
yeah, actually, him about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Is it me or Martha's brother such a better actor than the current companion?
Oh,
right.
Reggie Yates, yeah.
Yeah,
Reggie Yates, TV
Yeah,
presenter.
that's not hard.
That's
To
not
be
hard.
honest.
Yeah. True.
I think a
Well, I
block
mean,
wood could act
even
better.
Free acts better than Ryan and Yaz the Planks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look at the table. I mean, everybody was insulting the table in the photograph.
I think the table was the best actor.
Acting superbly as a table.
Yeah.
It was
The
the best
table
actor.
in the end of time had more character. Just a shot of 007 as Rassilon at the table at the end of time. I mean, that right there was just, that blows it away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Timothy Dalton, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just a
He's
picture.
yeah, Timothy Dalton's a good actor.
Timothy Dalton. Oh my gosh, I love him as Rassilon.
Yeah, he was really good.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was very good as a wrestler.
You want to see Timothy Dalton in a slightly different role, but hilarious. Check out a movie called Hot Fuzz.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Hot
yes.
Fuzz, yeah.
Make the right, yeah. Part of the
Simon
Connecticut trilogy.
Pegg and Nick Frost making their
Yeah.
magic.
Yeah.
Now here's the Quatermass throwback.
yeah.
Yeah. Which quiet mass was it? Because I can't remember it happening in the pit.
No, it was just quite a mess. Quite a mass
Oh.
experiment, I think.
Okay.
You know, they could reboot that series in
They
modern
could.
day.
They
Yeah.
could, but
Yeah.
not.
Leave it
Not at the
alone.
moment.
Yeah.
There's rumors
No,
of
no,
Blake Seven, and I'm like, no.
No.
Yeah,
No,
Let's
God,
not
no.
even go there. No. No.
No. I like how the doctor's not even paying attention to him. He's just looking around at his surroundings, surveying how he's going to escape in case things go wrong,
Yeah.
looking up. He's getting a view of his surroundings.
I'm up to Naked Gators.
Naked Gators with flop sweat.
it's just checking, guys. If putting the sound on will have a problem with the copyright.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do it.
Okay, all right.
No. Don't. No.
Hit the algorithm.
Just asking.
That's all right.
Yeah, we like to not, blast too much about what's on Daily Motion because we like to go there and watch sometimes without them taking it down.
Yeah.
Tennant just got slapped by the mother.
Yeah, that's how I used to. Sorry, I start again. That's how I used to have to watch Rick and Morty on Daily Motion.
Yeah, Rick and Morty. Yeah.
And then suddenly Channel 4 get hold of it. I'm like, damn, I would have just waited.
That's how I get my Red Dwarf fix.
Yeah.
Nice.
Actually, the DVDs for Red Dwarf are brilliant.
Oh, they're fantastic.
They are, yeah.
Uh-huh.
They're as good as some of the Doctor Who, classic Doctor Who ones.
Yeah, I've only got season 1. I need to pick up the rest of them.
Yeah. It kind of starts in season 2, Red Dwarf, but series 3 is when it's really bang. It's Red Dwarf, series 3.
What I'd really like is a box set.
Going up and up, really.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't like the backwards one, PD? Did you like that episode?
I like that. I liked all of them.
Yeah, it was good. It's Red Dwarf.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad it didn't turn woke. Oh.
Yeah, that's true.
I had literally, when they showed the last episode, The Promised Land, my heart was in my stomach. And after that, I thought, oh, thank God they haven't gone woke.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it was a brilliant 90 minutes. I mean,
Yeah.
it was like 3 episodes in one. I loved it.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
If any of you guys come across the B&M set for Capaldi with Davros from The Witch is Familiar, let me know.
Yeah.
It's so expensive to get with the scalpers over here. I don't want to pay that price.
Every time I go to B&M and look at these things, I've hardly got any on the shelves in my B&M.
Yeah,
Weird.
sure.
I've
But
only
that
ever been able to
particular
get
set,
one
I want.
set.
Oh, David Rayner says season 7 of Red Dwarf is woke.
It's never woke.
Season 7? I'm trying to think.
Oh, that got a bit funny. It got a bit too. It went from being more of a comedy to more of a kind of drama comedy in season 7. They changed it back in season 8. So.
Well, when they added the laugh track back in, it wasn't so bad.
No. Yeah. And Back to Earth was a bit funny because it didn't have a laughter track.
Right, I have something to share, which is after we watch this episode. And I just have to say, after looking at it myself, it's quite telling. And all I'm just going to say is this, right? If I were Jodie Whittaker, just do yourself a favour.
Yeah.
Because when I show you this photograph, you'll get what I'm talking about. Hold on for a minute, because Ted's after doing something.
Okay.
So you've got a sonic screwdriver amplifying music.
Yeah.
He could have just played the organ. He didn't need the sonic in that one.
It's like Spider-Man 3.
I mean, Spider-Man, yeah, where he's in the bell tower.
Yeah.
Right, anyway, as I was saying, this photograph that I'm going to show you, obviously we weren't paying attention during the Children in Need properly, because during that 19-second clip, it is clearly showing Jodie Whittaker has lost all interest in this show.
Yeah.
All interest. And wait till you see her face. It's quite telling. It is. This is a
I
person
don't know
that
why they're hanging around. I just don't know what I think it's just as an FU.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I actually don't think so. I think she wants. I honestly, wait and see this photograph. I don't know how you will perceive it, but I'll show you after this episode and we give her ratings. And I'll before you head off, Rabbi, because I want you to see this actually.
Okay.
And you might decide to use it as a thumbnail, by the way.
I'm looking forward to it now.
Well, you know, when they tell somebody that they're the bestest ever, and then when she sees that there's not fans that are happy, I mean, I'm sure it's a big letdown because you're being told something on one side in your bubble.
Exactly. You know, over the last couple of months, especially, you have not changed my opinion on her, but I've toned down on giving out about her all the time. For the simple fact of the matter is, it's not all down to her. Yes, she has said things, let's be honest, and done things that we haven't liked. But at the end of the day, the fundamental problem with Doctor Who is the writing, and that book stops Chris Chibnall and the team he selected to write this.
The performance is terrible.
Yeah.
It
You're not
doesn't matter.
saying that.
It doesn't matter. She was listen. At the end of yes, we know we don't like her. We think that she's not the greatest actress in the world for this part, right? But she accepted the role after being given it by Chris Chibnall. It goes back to him again. He's the one that made all the decisions. He chose Jodie Whittaker, right?
Yeah.
He chose Bradley Walsh. He chose Tolson Cole, Manmeet Gill. He chose his writing team. He decided then to bring in his own crowd and get rid of some that were there. He kept one or two of them that would bend the knee to him and walk with him, right? But he got rid of the rest. He cleared shop completely.
Yeah.
Every decision he's made since then is down to him. He's the one responsible. There's no point in coming after her anymore. We know her flaws as the Doctor. Right? No, she's not good enough. So let's not focus on her anymore. It's him we need to focus on. But when you see this photograph, I can tell that this woman's had enough.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like to me. She's had enough, and maybe she's just staying on until this whole thing blows over with the pandemic, and then she'll be able to move on. I do not see her staying past Series 14. I really don't.
No, I think she should move on.
She might do that festive special, but that'll be it. She might do another festive special after Series 14, but that's it as far as I'm concerned.
Looks like
why should she? She'll ruin her career anyway. You know, she hasn't already damaged the, you know.
None of you have mentioned the spinal reference to Lazarus Experiment. Where he goes, you have to turn it up to 11. I love that.
Oh, yeah.
And if anyone here hasn't seen Spinal Tap, go see it.
So, next week,
one of the best documentaries of all time.
But that will depend on Lee. So, he is forced up. So, we'll get straight into it. So, Lee, how did you feel about this episode, second time round? And what is your rating? Now, I trust you enough because I've known you long enough to know that you'll be an honest man. So please be honest with your rating as well. Go for it. Knock yourself out.
Right. It was pretty much as I remember it, I'm afraid.
Okay.
Slightly better, but not much better. So it's 5.5, I guess.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, which means we're doing 42 next week, folks.
Right,
that's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. Listen, he was honest, and thank you, Lee, for being honest, because I know you'll always be honest with me anyway. So thank you for that. At least you stuck to your guns and you didn't change your opinion. Well, slightly changed it, but not good
I
enough.
can tell you, I'm of the opinion that Chris Chibnall, when he's under somebody else's thumb, isn't that bad.
Not as bad.
Just when he's on his own, yeah.
Like I didn't notice this as being awful, right? And I noticed everything he does now is being awful.
Yeah.
Right. Now let's get through everybody. So go with Daniel and then your next rabbi. So Daniel, please give me your rating.
I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10.
Nice.
Fantastic. That's absolutely fantastic. Do you want to give your brief reasons why?
Yeah, because I thought the character development was, I thought the character development is as usual, and it sets up everything else it sets it up perfectly. So yeah, 8.5. The reason how I never gave it a 9 was due to the CGI, but yeah, 8.5. I enjoyed the story.
No problem, Daniel. Rabbi, what would you give?
I think I'm back down about 6.5. It was like mostly harmless.
Yeah.
Like nothing great, nothing terrible. Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic. Ninja Knight.
Yeah, like I said earlier on, I think it's a strong 7 in my opinion. I like the companion in this. Same thing as well. I'm a big fan of Mark Gatiss as well. I liked him in the Sherlock stuff, and I liked him again in Doctor Who here. And I think, like I said earlier on, the biblical sense of the Lazarus stuff, I think, is very interesting. It's always something that gives me a bit of an interest into the series. And David Tennant is just, fantastic as always.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you for that, Alpha Omega.
Yeah, originally I gave it a 6. I think upon a rewatch, I might bump it up to a 7.
Nice.
That a good performance by Mark Gatiss. Yeah, the CGI is still crap, but
yeah.
To be fair, I think it's just more the human face on the monster was where it really failed. I mean,
Uncanny Valley.
It made Mark Gatiss look more like David Bowie in some sort of music video.
Yeah.
PD Rich.
I'll give it a 7. I think. I mean, it was a very much a companion story. I think the problem with this in the next episode is why I kind of went off series 3 a little bit. But now after watching it again and realizing it's a companion story, I kind of like it a little more.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Next episode's a bit bad though.
Josh, you're a fan. You were a fan of this episode before we watched. Are you still a fan?
Yeah, it's funny. The CGI didn't bother me in the slightest. I've been a fan since the classic series back in the 70s. Again, your writing is your foundation. This was a story almost as if told through the eyes of the companion. It's showing me all the things I miss and I love about my show. As I said the other day, forget about children in need. I'm a Doctor Who fan in need, and what I need is good Doctor Who. And I think with some good money we can get that, because what they have now is an abomination. It's Lazarus in the machine. We need to go back to what it really is.
Yeah.
Well said.
8 out of 10.
So what would you give it? What rating would you give it, Josh?
Oh, I'm still at the 8 of the 10. I mean, it's amazing. It's not perfect. I mean, there are stuff. Full disclosure, my favorite David Tennant episode is probably the Fires of Pompeii.
That's a good one.
Nice.
And
Yeah,
Donna was one of my favorite companions, and because it's funny because it doesn't have to be about sex or sexuality, and the classic series was perfect for that.
Yeah.
And Donna was exactly that, and she was kind of a comic relief, and she was amazing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Spot on. Adam, what would you give it, pal?
I'm going to stick with a solid 7 on this.
Nice.
It did feel in some ways, because when you were watching it back then and even now, it's kind of a filler episode. It's more of a focus on the companions. You're throwing in some tidbits of Harold Saxon, the Master, with the technology of the Lazarus box that was used. So it's bringing you along, which is something that was great about RTD. He would do that. He'd make something interesting enough that would carry you over towards that finale, which is the crescendo of the entire season.
Yeah, he was good at his little. I've always said this about RTD's era. He's always been very good at, you get your story, but under that story, he's leaving little clues for what's to come. He's like foreshadowing, which again, Chris Chibnall is completely awful at. But before we go to Dave, I'll give my rating. I'm going to give this a 9. I have a soft spot for this story. I really do. I think Mark is fantastic in it. I think, you get to learn more about Martha's family. There's a little bit of the foreshadowing going on. It's the CGI again. I think we've all touched on it anyway. The CGI does bother me. I know it doesn't bother Josh, but it does bother me. But then I kind of think back to the classic era, and I said, well, that's why it had its charm, and I think this episode does have that charm. So, but still, it's still a quite jarring. So, 9 out of 10 for me. So I'll ask David.
Yeah.
What would you give it? And if you want to tell us what you liked about the episode.
I liked Gaius's performance. I liked the CGI wasn't terrible for what it was, and I think the overall storyline was good. And and it was cool seeing David Tennant in action, in this one. And yeah, I quite enjoyed it. I'll give it a 7.5.
Fantastic. Well, quite high marks by everybody.
Don't get it.
Well, Lee. I mean, look, I get where you're coming from. I mean, I don't like the two-part Dalek story. I mean, the first part is solid enough, but the second one isn't. Listen, we're not always going to like
No, of course not.
stories. I can understand like where you're coming from, but I just love acting like that, especially when they're talking about back in the day. It's that whole era of World War II, and hearing stories about people growing up in it. It does fascinate me because you know what, we all know what happened once. It was devastating. So I think those people should.
My
be
grandmother was a kid during the Blitz, and she absolutely loved the Blitz because it meant she didn't have to go to school.
For God's sake. But then, I mean, kids would have been like that. That's the funny thing about it, isn't it? Like throughout all this death and destruction, there's little happy stories like that. I'm hoping I'm able to share this, which is all on the panel, because there's 10 slots, so I don't know if it'll allow me to do this, but I have to show you this photograph.
It might make your audio jitter for a bit afterwards.
there you go.
Sort itself out.
Now that's the face of a woman.
Yeah, pretty much so.
Give.
I think it was a bit like Jodie, just a bit
You can
worse.
see it in her little folk. You know me, I'm hard on this woman a lot because she was always going to be scrutinized. But you can see it there. She's dead
in
the
her
eye.
eyes. Yeah.
Kill me, please kill me.
Help me.
I want to regenerate.
Actually,
You know what? Maybe it's because it's a 3-year contract. She can't get out of it, and she has to do it. And it went on a little
They're all
bit longer.
stuck with each other and they all hate it.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely
Hey, no,
doesn't
I got to
look-
go, mate. I'm sorry. I'm not.
See you later, Rabbi.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, Rabbi.
Bye, Rabbi.
That could be my face after looking at after one of her episodes.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it is to say, I'm not going to slag her off here. That's sad. That clearly shows that she either doesn't want to be there anymore, she has to fulfill her contract, or she just doesn't, or the other side, what we've been saying, she doesn't give a crap anymore. And I don't think she's that. Listen, no matter what we say about the things that she said and done, I don't think she doesn't give a crap. I just think she's way out of her league, and she doesn't understand the role. But this really looks like a woman that just doesn't either want. It does look like she doesn't want to be there anymore, and that is sad.
It's like, God, I have to be here.
Yeah,
Here's my perspective on that. And see, for me, this is the way I'm looking at it, because there's a lot of telltale signs. She was a diversity hire, okay? She's female. She's going to be the first female doctor. She drank the Kool-Aid that Chibnall was feeding her up front. She went into it. They played up the ceiling, breaking down. Once the diversity hire and virtue signal becomes apparent to the person who's there, and that's the only reason that you are there, it starts to sink in that, this really isn't something that's going to fulfill what I was looking for. So, yes, to a point, I don't really, I'm not fond of Jodie, but at the same time, I feel like she's a victim of this push by, the diversity inclusion strategy of the BBC, but also because of Chibnall and people like him who try to push this superficial virtue signal, and you can feel it, with the exception of the lady that plays Yaz. I don't think she has a clue what's going on around her, regardless of whether it's in the show or just in general.
I feel like I feel like asking her to blink twice if she wants to get out.
Right.
Yeah.
Help me!
Yeah.
Help me!
Help me.
Blink twice, Jodie. Just blink twice.
Help me. My career is in the toilet. I need to do something more meaningful.
Need to go do theatre for a couple of years.
Oh yeah, that's probably what she'll end up doing. Theater, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they do. Cleanse the palate.
Yeah.
That's what Arthur Darvill did, didn't he? Did theatre for a few years after Doctor Who, and then went off to Broadchurch.
I mean, her eyes just betray absolutely everything there. It's just like, I don't want to be here. That's everything that's screaming at me from this picture.
Yeah, she realizes that there's no deeper meaning to her role as this doctor other than she was hired because of her gender. And to push an agenda. That's it. And when it sinks into those actors, you see that. I see this all over the place. I mean, there's actors who are hired, diversity hires. I mean, look at Flynn, for God's sakes, on Star Wars. I mean, what they did to him.
Here, I've got a question for you all, and I'd like you all to get the opportunity to answer it. Right? What did I say? Or does that look like? Yeah. So here's the question for you, and I want everybody to give their opinion, no matter what it is. Right? Does this look like a woman that's staying past Series 13?
No.
Only against her
No.
will.
No.
Yeah, only at gunpoint. Yeah.
Blink twice, Jodie. Blink twice.
He's getting
But
paid.
here's the thing with what's happening at the moment. These people will stay on these shows if it guarantees a paycheck, and they might just do a bad job anyway because they'll say, well, I'm getting paid for this anyway, so it doesn't matter. Like you're seeing an awful lot of people now that are slinking their way back to TV shows and slinking their way back to movies when they know this is the only viable paycheck I'm going to get. Like a lot of actors now, you'll see them saying, oh, I'd love to get that project going now, or I'd like to be involved in that. There's a lot of that happening right now.
Well, apparently, right, she's been, if Emma actually said this was a couple of days back, that apparently Chris Chibnall wants Jodie Whittaker for Broadchurch again. So, if that turned out to be true, but then think about it logically, folks. If Broadchurch was to come back, that's another big production. There's no way she could do Doctor Who and Broadchurch at the same time. So one of them has to go. So she either comes down to Broadchurch or she continues in this role, which you can clearly see it's killed her. Look, you can see it. She's dead in the She's actually
dead inside, yeah.
More. When I seen her a couple of, I think it was 6 weeks ago, on Who Do You Think You Are? She was full of life. I even said she made me feel for her for once. She actually made me feel like she was not this person that she's been going around. She actually felt like she, because at first, right, she takes a bit at the start of it. She takes a slight dig at the male members of our family, right? But then she goes on this whole journey. She finds out about this particular male person in our family, and he turns out to be a war hero. He gets injured in World War I. He's sent back home to Britain, and then within a couple of weeks of healed, he goes back out onto the front line and ends up dying. And you could see it for once. You could see pure emotion on her. She actually broke down at one stage, and I was like, Jesus Christ, why doesn't Chris Chibnall use that? That's what she's good at doing, though. She's good at playing those emotional parts, but there's no emotion from her doctor whatsoever. That's a woman that clearly is done. She's done. This role has killed her. It has. It's killed her. It's not as Adam said, it's not what she thought was going to be, right? The writing is absolutely atrocious. It's just, look, if it wasn't Chris Chibnall and they got a better writer in, okay, then we'd be focusing on our acting ability. But you never know. We will never know, even with the right director, the right producers, the right coaches around her, whether she could have pulled this off. We'll never know. Chris Chibnall, the one chance that he had, right, and I don't agree with it anyway, but the one chance he had to bring a female doctor onto the screen, and he messed it up, right?
Yeah.
He
No
blew
one
it.
now, that's tainted now for another woman, in my opinion. Maybe he forced that agenda, which I don't think is a good idea. But I think he did this. Chris Chibnall has severely ruined it for any other woman to ever take this, because they'll always go back to this era and say how cynical they were and how they went about it. And no fan will trust another woman in the role. And that's down to Chris Chibnall. Nobody else. Him. He made the decisions. He's an absolute disgrace. And that poor woman, seriously, man, she should just walk away. Just walk away. Stay 14, just walk away. But you know what? We wouldn't even, I wouldn't even be going, ha ha ha, she's gone. I'll be delighted for you, because I know you've made the right decision. At this stage, you know, it won't be about getting rid of you. Just go to save your own career. Do the right thing by you. And that's leaving this show before you get into it. Simple as that. I don't want to see her career ruined, right? Because she's not doing the emotional role that she does, right? She deserves to go out there and make her own mark. Unfortunately, Chris Chibnall screwed her over. She was never going to make her mark on this show. Never. Because he was never going to do it properly. Never. RTD could probably pull this off with Jodie Whittaker, but nobody else, in my opinion. This was a monumental task that any showrunner would have took on, and Chris Chibnall simply wasn't the man to do it. And I think even RTD would have struggled in some aspects, to be quite honest with you. But it is very difficult. You've changed the whole dynamic between Doctor and companion, and you've changed the whole dynamic of the show. And when you do something like that, you're heading towards trouble. And that's what happened.
Yeah. Another thing regarding Joe Martin as well, it's very funny how there's a couple of writers in the writers' room from Doctors, and she's one of the big characters in Doctors. Very, how do I put it? It's very, I can't remember the word, sorry. I've got my brain. That's the one. It's a big coincidence, isn't it?
Somewhat.
Massive coincidence.
It's like she's been hypnotized or something.
She's a robot.
She's been replaced. She's an automaton.
She is a Jodie bot.
She's become the very
Jodie
thing.
Bot. She is Jodie bot.
I think whether she leaves or not, it depends on if she has any other opportunities available and contractual things. But
here's the thing.
By this, she doesn't look very happy.
He's either going to be on Strictly Come Dancing, or I'm a Celebrity, get me out of here in a few years' time, because her career will not die. She's better off going. It's not because I want her to go now. It's because she should do it to save her career. Because she will. I'm telling you now. You give her 4 or 5 years from now, if she doesn't leave this role, she'll be on I'm a Celebrity, get me out of here, and it'll be sad. It'll be sad to see that, because she doesn't deserve that. You know what I mean? She was wrong for this role all along.
Yeah.
Realised that straight away and saved her from all of this, but he chose to go on with it. He stood his ground, right? And of course, he stood her ground because obviously he put faith in her. But when it didn't go right during Series 11, something happened behind the scenes and never recovered from Series 11, I don't think. It went into Series 12. There was problems behind Series 12. Captain John Barrowman was brought in. They had to get him in a cameo because they knew they were in serious trouble. They knew they were in serious trouble. And I think she knows, and I think he's thrown her under the bus.
Yeah.
I really do.
She's gonna get pushed by Chibnall, I think.
I actually do. I never thought I'd say that I feel sorry for her, but I actually do feel sorry for her. This is absolutely awful. Awful. That face tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah.
She didn't deserve this.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, don't hate the player, if you know what I mean. But I do feel sorry for her. I feel so sorry for what's going to happen to Jodie if it all goes wrong.
Well,
it's all going wrong.
I put this in the private chat.
In fairness, right, she has made statements. She did videos that upset us all. You know, she did play her part. But overall, Chris Chibnall is the man, and he's still there. And
Yes, he is.
You know what I mean? And God knows what he has planned for Series 13. I know my rumor and information's out there.
Yeah.
But
no, what was your alarm bells? What makes your alarm bells start ringing in your head about this era? What was the first thing?
What's the first thing?
Yeah. For me, it was the big 2-year hiatus between the series.
I think my eyebrows were raised when he came out and said that he wouldn't be able to produce the same amount of episodes.
That's it.
Yeah, same.
His predecessors, even before when we did his first interview, and that was the first thing he said. I thought we're in trouble here.
Well, I mean, let's look at it this way, right? I mean, everyone's clamoring from that side to justify the 8 episodes. Oh, because the coof and all the rest of it. Yeah, but we've had this ever since he's been in. You know, he's reduced the number of episodes. He's reduced it down to one series every 2 years. I'm sorry that just saying because of the coof he's reduced it. No, I don't believe that at all. I don't buy it.
RTD did 3 series at one time.
Listen,
free series.
A celebrity get me out of here in a castle in fucking Wales, right? With celebrities in there, they're able to bleed and film Doctor Who. Listen, they waited until they thought they could get away with it. Now they're filming, right? And now he's told us, we're only going to give you 8 episodes.
And one's going to be a special.
After waiting this long, given the fans that actually support this era, remember, no trailer, no pieces of information about anything, right? This man has had utter contempt for this fandom ever since he came in and took over as showrunner. He made it very clear that it wasn't a democracy, right? And then Matt Stevens actually backed them up as well and said when they're in it, they'll write the show the way they want to write the show. Remember, Piers Wenger then attacked all the Jodie Whittaker's predecessors. So they even screwed her over at first. Just think about it. The first interview that came out with Piers Wenger celebrating the fact that he got the first female doctor and he slated Peter Capaldi saying he wasn't university enough and he slated all our predecessors, right? Already they were on the back foot with that. And rightly or wrongly, most fans projected that anger towards Jodie Whittaker. Then we got the whole breaking of the glass ceiling and whoops video.
Yeah.
Right? And then she followed it up then with the stylist video where she's taking the piss out of fans. Right? I'm not saying she's innocent. Right now, I just see a woman there that needs to go because she looks either fed up or you can see it in her eyes tell you everything you need to know there. It's the eyes that are haunting me there. You can see
the eyes are the window to the soul.
And you can have it 1,000 words they say, and that tells me that this woman is done with this show.
Yeah. She's out.
Charlotte says it's kind of her permanent facial expression of this year, to be fair.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to be a good one for Gary, isn't it? Nerd rotting.
Her mother is not well, that she's seriously ill, apparently.
Yeah, and her dad is 70, so she's away from our family, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, look, we keep forgetting, though. And that's not to say that the other lads that took the role hadn't got families. Of course they did. But Jodie is in the position where she has young kids. She has an aging mother and dad. You know, she's got her husband as well. She's had to be living in this bubble, obviously, if they're going to be acting, so none of them can, get infected with the bear bug. So, you have to put all those things together and think about it. As we've already said, we already had a 2-year gap between one series. She's only on her 3rd series in how many years since she's been announced?
Oh,
so
God, it's been long. But 5 years.
A long bloody time. So, I think the other fans forget that she's already the Doctor longer than she's been actually on screen, if you know what I mean. She's been 4 years the Doctor, but she's been left on screen. So, you know, she's been in it a while now. You know what I mean? So, look, for me personally, you know, with this situation, it is the best time to leave, I think. And that's just a thing. And I think she genuinely should.
If she doesn't leave, she'll get stuck. She'll get stuck there.
Well, she gets stuck. And if Chris Chibnall wants to force this and make her the longest serving doctor, well, fair enough, mate. You can hobble your way towards there, but you won't have the fandom to when you get there.
Yeah,
you won't get there.
It'd be an audio adventure if she's to be the longest serving doctor because it would be a 4-2 series anymore.
Are any of you out there actually looking forward to the festive special, the Dalek one coming up?
Nope.
Well, I am looking forward to it in one way.
I'll
But
watch it.
I'm looking forward to the rating.
I'm looking.
I'll watch it to review it. If it is good, I'll come out and say it's good. Listen, when Spyfall Part 1 came out, I was actually very generous with me praise.
Oh, Part 1 was good. And then Part
Episode 2 was where it fell apart, but Episode 1 of Season 12 was encouraging. Jodie Whittaker wasn't as annoying in it. She was actually all right. You know, but then after that, when we got to the second episode, fell completely apart in that. But we watched it all. You see, this is the thing, we get criticized. Well, if you don't like it, don't watch. But we watch it. We watch it.
Well, that's fair, and that's why I no longer do. But the only thing I'm looking forward to is a day or two later or a week later when Az from Heels versus Babyface comes out with his ratings video and shows how badly it did.
Good old Az.
This is the only time we're going to be able to see the effect of the Timeless Children in terms of ratings.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly that. And I've said this since, you know, we haven't seen the fallout for that particular storyline. I think that divided even some of her fans.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see.
Well, I think I understand what Mark Gatiss was getting at about being a poison chalice now.
Yeah.
He was speaking about the future of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's a self.
Sorry, Lee, carry on, mate.
No. You know, that's a good point to make. You know, I think it's now become undoubtedly a poison chalice to anyone picking this up after Chibnall's left.
Yeah.
Well, and you know, it ruins it for any future female who would have been perfect for the role. You know, because of the way that Chibnall handled it. And I put this in the private chat, but not in for the viewers. I wanted to say, you know, when it came to Chibnall, he had the perfect opportunity to pick up from where Moffat had set him up in season 10 with Missy and that backstory. You know, because Missy had come to a point where she's there with Capaldi. We don't know what happened in between. And she's repenting about all of the sins and things that she had caused in the past and was struggling with that, you know, because the Time War was over, the drums in the head was over. So he could have taken that storyline, started with, okay, Capaldi regenerates into a female, goes back in the past, and he's with Missy, bounce off of her, or even using her as a companion, right?
Well,
trying to bring her to the light.
This was my idea.
Like a River Song.
To make because if you look at the
you are right about female doctor though.
Dr. Falls. You look at the Dr. Falls, and I've said this before. When she's saying goodbye to him, it looks like she's handing him something. And you look down and you see that she's grasped his hand, and she looks down, he looks down, and they look at each other, and she leaves. Now that could have easily been her handing her regeneration energy, knowing that she was going to be fatally killed by herself, you know.
Right.
And knowing that he might need it because he might be in trouble, because this was quite a serious situation, you know, that none of them were going to get out of this. That could have been really interesting if, like, he had been fatally wounded and needed regeneration energy and then opened that up, and then both her energy and his energy combined and then regenerated into a female version of both the Master and the Doctor. It could have been Michelle Gomez herself playing the role and having both the Master and Missy in there. And that would have been interesting. And I think as well that with Missy's character as well, the feminization of the Master worked because they addressed that. The arc of the Master, Missy, going through this very strange experience of feeling emotions, and we always sort of look at femininity with being more emotionally attuned, and that confused the Master, and that caused the conflict in the first place. That's why you could see Missy being emotional and having tears and struggling with not being evil anymore and trying to be good, and I think that was very interesting. I think that was an interesting exploration of the difference in gender and actually addressed that. And I think that was an emotionally mature direction to take the character in. I think that was interesting. It was done for me. I know a lot of people didn't like Missy as the Master, but I think it was a very interesting thing. I think it backfired on the Master. I think it was a twisted idea. It confused the Doctor. It was, the Master is a master of disguise. What better disguise than swapping your gender, or rather sex in this case, I'd say. But I think that because it backfired, because it opened up this wealth of more of an emotional side to the character, it wasn't what the Master expected. And so it sort of created this situation where the Master started having this internal conflict because of the very dint of changing their sex. So I think that is in itself something that was explored, was interesting, but none of that was ever addressed with Jodie's Doctor. None of that. And I think that was a wasted opportunity. I think that it should be something that is incredibly rare rather than commonplace. I still believe that the Doctor is a male character, and I have absolutely no problem with that, and I don't think anyone should have a problem with that. And as I said before, Philip Hinchcliffe described the Doctor as being an alien that is trying to be like an English eccentric character, an Englishman eccentric character, and I totally buy that, and I think that there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. I think it works. I think if you're doing time travel, it works because you can go pretty much anywhere, and that's just a fact. If you turn it to a woman, if you turn it to a woman of color, you're creating this trouble within the character itself, that when they go back in time, they're going to be unless you've got this perception filter, which is a bit of a gimmick, then you're sort of creating more of a distraction that has to address this whole issue every single time that they go back in time, which is going to dominate the story. And I think that that's going to become quite repetitive and quite boring over time. And I think that's a sad indictment of history, but that's how it was. But I think that you're contriving a potential plot hole, which is going to be explored over and over and over again. It's not something you're ever going to sort of move beyond, unless you got some clever writing, which unfortunately doesn't seem to be the case at the moment. So I think it's just, look, the Doctor is a traditionally male role, has been played up until now with white male actors, and I think that is intrinsically part of the character, and I don't really see a problem with that. But if you're going to change things like that, you better have the writing ability and creativity to do something with it. I think Missy as a character was well written, and the story arc there was well done, and the change in sex was addressed well, I think. So I think they just missed an opportunity this time around.
To me, it's kind of like when you look at some of the other shows that you have out there, like of House of Cards, for example, where that was a season's worth of a male lead, and you had Robin Wright there, and obviously the stuff with Kevin Spacey, they decided to plough on rather than just end the series where it was, and they put Robin Wright into the role, who was never right to be the lead of the show, and essentially lost viewers and then just went away. And it kind of hurt the series so much then that if they decided to revisit something in the future similar to it, I'm not sure people would go back and look at it. And I think unfortunately with this Jodie Whittaker era, it's done irreparable damage the same way Star Wars has been dealt irreparable damage by the likes of Super Ray over that trilogy. Similarly to Ghostbusters, I can see an awful lot of people that are very wary of Ghostbusters at the moment, and it's infecting other franchises. It's now infecting The Mandalorian, and I think you're going to see it now, and it's going to just because they are going to gear up for what's going to happen possibly within the US at the moment, because everybody knows what's happening there. They all know that the blue guy is just a front for the woman behind him, and Hollywood is going to gear up for this notion of maybe 4 years of that individual. So I think when you're looking at these series, it does show that people are kind of only hanging on here for the paycheck, which is unfortunate. But I think with everything that's happening at the moment, people are going to be working in jobs that they don't care about, just for that paycheck. And you're seeing it with Jodie Whittaker and her early. And I suppose we'll wait and see what happens after that. But it's a nice parallel between this and House of Cards, where it was a male-led show, and then ended up then having the female lead and not doing as strongly when you look at the ratings.
And that was during the time of the Time's Up movement thing as well. So that all coincided at the same time.
And that should have been popular, allegedly.
Alpha Omega with a $10 super chat. I almost forgot one for the road. Thank you, Alpha Omega.
Thanks, Alpha.
If you could do me a favor and give you our channels a shout out, because we're going to be finishing up. So, Lee, we'll go with you first. If you can tell everybody where they can find you, we really appreciate that.
Yep, you can find me at on Twitter at the Golden Asdha, which is AZDHA, and you can also check out my other channel with all my creative stuff on there. There's going to be more added as I go along, so keep an eye out. And that's at Audred Audio Visual. That's AUDRED Audio Visual.
Thank you, Lee. Daniel.
I'm taking a break from my channel, as you know, but you can join my two, they can join my two and Facebook. Get it, the Daniels and YouTube Hub and Daniels and Anish and Hub on my two Facebook. Get it, but you can also get up there for although it's out at the annual and to on my Twitter account. As for my actual channel, I'll be back in January doing some streams with and maybe a few other guests as well in January. But for now, join them but for now, join my Facebook and get up there for and you can catch me on here every Sunday. So that's my shout-outs.
No problem. Thank you, Alpha Omega.
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube under Alpha Omega, and on Twitter, Alpha Omega 55. And thanks for having me on again, Noel.
No problem. Thanks very much for coming on again. Really appreciate it. PD Rich.
Well, you can normally find me on Facebook on the TARDIS Zone page, or you can find me on the Post Geek Singularity or Doomcock's Army. But I want to give a shout out to the Spacebook, actually, Dan's channel, because I was chatting with him earlier.
Cool. No problem. Fantastic. Josh.
Hi. Thanks for having me along. It was a ride today, and all the way from Canada. I thought we might actually lose the feed because we're going through quite a windstorm right now. But we'll see. I'm only on Facebook. I don't have a YouTube channel myself. I'm not sure how to do one. I'd like to, but anyone who wants to get in touch with me and chat about the good old years can either, I guess, find me on Facebook or contact me through Noel, I suppose.
Nice. Sounds good.
It's part of the family.
Cool. Sounds good.
What was that? Oh, Ninja Knight, go ahead.
Yeah, you can find me here on YouTube at Ninja Knight. I have a black icon with red writing on it, just so you're not confused, because there's another guy that decided to use the same name. I'm over on Facebook as well too. I have a group, Ninja Knight Facebook group. I'm at Twitter at @Ninja Knight. I'm over on Parler now as well too. Also at the Ninja Knight 44, which is a new social media site, and it's fantastic over there. Talk about everything and anything really. You'll get a bit of a mix of everything on my channel, so that's where I'm at. Thanks again for having me on as well too. Much appreciated to the TARDIS Sound official, and thanks to the panel, the chat, and all the mods. Fantastic tonight.
No problem. Thank you. Nice having you on, Adam.
Yes, you guys can find me on DeviantArt. I don't have a channel yet. As I said, I'm working through some studying to become a broker. Once I get my license there and I've got some other things in place, I'll probably start doing YouTube, but that won't be until probably next year. But if you want to follow my Doctor Who book project for the TARDIS and also the Time Lord Compendium, just go to Time Lord Watchalong on DeviantArt. You can also check out my comic book art on Capital Comics Studios. That's also on DeviantArt as well.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. And finally, Dave.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, I got my YouTube channel, Dave Travels Through Time. Do live streams all the time. Lately, I've been doing quiz streams about Doctor Who, Batman, Blake 7, Red Dwarf, all that kind of stuff. And then I'd have a Facebook as well. And then, yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. And folks, that has been it. I want to just thank everybody in the live chat that took part. Thank you, Alpha Omega, for that super chat. Absolutely fantastic, Paul. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Thank you, everybody on the panel. And the moderators have been thrown all of the people. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Where was I? Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Everybody that came on. And I lost my train of thought. I'm just gonna. Yeah.
That Chris lost his power, and that's why he had to go.
Right. Well. Yeah. What you could.
Sorry.
Maybe you could have told me that before I start saying goodbye, and then maybe then.
I would say the log out.
Fight.
Hashtag require Cheryl.
No fight. Be quiet.
Cheryl, you're rehired.
Require Cheryl.
Hey, always remember, happy wife, happy life.
Happy wife, happy
Here, don't make me go America. Don't make me go Irish on your own.
Hashtag make Teddy a mod.
Yeah, weapon of
That saying was invented by a wife.
No.
There we go.
Oh, you're in trouble now.
Yeah, really.
Just kidding.
Right, I'm gonna go before you do get me into trouble. Right, listen, we'll be back on Wednesday. Yeah, so that's it. We've had a long week. I'm definitely going to try stay off social media over the next couple of days just to kind of
proof the best.
We're sure we've got a lot to watch anyway. Cheryl's already clapping our hands the amount of stuff we have to watch, and we've got places to go. Yeah, I have to go to the bank. I've got to sort out stuff as well. Maybe do some one or two voice things. No, that's never happening. Right. So with that, we're gonna say good night to you all. Me and Cheryl are gonna pop off now and watch some because I'm a celebrity. Get me out of here. So we have a record, so we're just gonna watch it from the beginning now. So I'm gonna say good night to you all. Stay safe, stay safe, because you know yourself.
Good night.
Yeah, that's it, because it could be worse. Remember that. So let's enjoy life.
True.
Yeah.
So see you.
Yeah. Life's too short, then you die.
Hey, no.
Listen,
No.
yeah.
Do you and the missus watch Battlestar Galactica? Because me and mine, we just started. I just started her on it. We're on season 2 now, and she's absolutely hooked.
Yeah,
I
it's
love that
fantastic.
show.
Yeah, I don't want to say anymore, but we do have someone that does be on the panel that's setting up something for us all, so we can all go in there and we can do even more stuff than we can actually do on YouTube. And yeah, so do you know what? I was a fan of the old Battlestar Galactica, but everybody keeps telling me I have to watch the update.
You have to.
Oh my God, you've not seen it.
But I better go now because the wife is giving me the evil, so I'm gonna have to say.
All right. All right, cheers, everyone. I'll see y'all later.
Yeah. Cheers, guys.
Evils at home already.
Okay, I'm gonna throw something.
Right. She actually literally did. Don't be throwing that ball.
Domestic.
Uh-oh.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night. Have a good one. Stay safe.
Here's the trailer. Right, we'll start with this one first.
Second one broken.
Yeah, the second one.
Anyone got a Sonic screwdriver?
Played the wrong second trailer. Don't know, dodgy.
That's the classic one, yeah.
Isn't showcasing our leads one here anyway, right?
That was amazing.
Again, Jack. This is every Friday.
There we go.
Every Friday, proud of this show. Proud of this show. Are these trailers even playing for you guys? Because they're not playing for me at all.
That was the TARDIS
okay.
Talks one.
Right.
That was the TARDIS
So,
Talks.
right, we're definitely leaving now. So I'll leave you with the last two trailers. Good night. See you later. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.
Why not? Just to the end. Just be kind.